I was asked to come and do an arts activity for the event. So we're doing printmaking. It's like a really kind of simple process. No, let's keep it going. So yes, printmaking, an idea that's just very kind of easy to do, not labour intensive. Something because it's a mingling event, isn't it? It's a get together, and people are here to chat with one another. So we just wanted to have an arts activity that was just set alongside. Yeah.
Because I was nominated, which was a surprise. The creative hero, I don't know any more than that. Not really. I do. I'm a teacher. I'm also studying for a Masters in Fine Art, and I've done lots of community work. So I've worked with families in grief in Barnstaple, and I'm working for the Racial Equality Commission, working with refugee women in Exeter at the moment. So I think it's a combination of those things. Yeah.
Well, I've been nominated by my friend. Well, she came to help when a friend and I set up a knitting club. Yeah, so I was asking all friends who could knit to come and help. To begin with, it was a lot of work to get them all knitting, but now it's dead easy because they all sit around like old ladies knitting and chatting about the world. They also do crochet, by the way. Yeah.
I'm very good, but I can do better.
Well, a little bit takes you a long way with crochet.
So I'm a trustee for Daisy. I've started in February. I'm really excited about the potential of the charity, of the organisation. My full-time job is a civil servant, so public administration. So I'm really hoping that the skills and the experience I have of 20 years of public administration will contribute to the ambition of the organisation for Daisy. So I'm really excited about being here.
Because I am nominated for a Creative Hero Award for the early years and primary. So I actually don't know because I haven't seen what people wrote, but as well as teaching music, I work for the local music hub, and I've been successful in helping collaborative fundraising. So we've had a drama and oracy project with Daisy. So we've had a lot of things going on, which has been really exciting. Yeah, thank you. That's all right.
I just think this event is an incredible opportunity for local creatives, teachers, artists, and anybody that's really involved in the arts to come together and to network and to celebrate all that is good about the arts in Devon. I am a teacher at Kelly Street Academy in Paignton.
I've been working in arts education in Exeter for about 15 years, and getting together with colleagues who also work in this area just to see what we're all up to, get some kind of blood into our veins to boost us all back up again is really important, and to have young people at the event as well is really, really important so that we're all hearing and listening to each other. So that's why I'm here.
Do you know anyone that's been nominated for anything?
I do know a couple of people, yes, so I have my fingers crossed that they might be getting some recognition, so yeah.
We're a creative, a cultural organisation in Devon, and I wanted to make sure I got networked. I've just joined the Creative Partnership, and so I just wanted to come along and meet people.
So if you became the new Prime Minister on the 4th of July, what would you do for young people's creative education?
First of all, I would appoint an education minister who knew what they were talking about. I would ensure that they spoke to the people on the ground in the classroom and got their opinions. That includes all the unions and all the teachers, all the teaching assistants, all the people that work in schools. What I would like the education minister to do would be to scrap primary school testing altogether, all the national testing, the times tables tests, Key Stage 1 SATs, which are non-statutory but everyone still does them, Key Stage 2 SATs, and bring back a joy of learning so that schools are fun. Our biggest problem is school refusers, children who can't come in, and all we're doing is fining them and making their families scared. At the same time, giving them food bags because they can't afford food. So it doesn't work. They've lost their joy, and that's why a lot of them, I know it's a more complex issue than this, but if school was joyous, more children would come, and we wouldn't lose as many teachers from the profession. Then for GCSEs, I would bring back coursework, because let's be honest, how many jobs actually just test your recall of facts. Not very many. How many people really need that as a skill? Maybe a lawyer. Even so, they would go back and check relevant cases before they were called upon for that information. This just, can you regurgitate facts under pressure? It's really damaging for people's mental health. It makes school not fun, and again, then they don't want to come. So I would bring back like 50% coursework so that children can show a creative way of working and showing their skills that is beyond exams. That's why.
Hi, so I would like to make creative education compulsory. I don't think it should be a subject that is studied occasionally. I think it's really important for creative thinking, for collaboration, for problem solving. So I think it actually should be, if you think about STEAM, not STEM, or you think about the core subjects, it would be great if it was encouraged. And of course, I would want to support it with much more funding.
Thank you for your answer.
If I was going to change anything, I would also want to make the creative pathways more accessible so that you don't just have to follow one specialism, but you could go and study music and art and design and drama so that it really gives a bit of elevation to our creative career pathways for young people in the future.
I would make it much more of a priority in the curriculum because it's not part of the SATs it's basically just not valued because you can't measure it. And actually all the work in neuroaesthetics, we know the benefits of the arts to children, and we know we've got a crisis in mental health, so it's just a no-brainer. Why wouldn't you make that one of the priorities? So that's what I'd do. Yeah.
Well, I think the biggest thing at the moment is the finance. There doesn't seem to be much money coming into into sort of young people's education, so it'd be really nice to sort that out.
Provide more funding, because most schools have very, very underfunded creative departments, and some schools don't have any at all, and that's very upsetting. I'd also make sure that the teachers were well trained and that there actually were teachers, because once again, a lot of people don't have creative teachers.
So, several years ago, I facilitated the relocation of 32 unaccompanied asylum-seeking children to Scotland. We provided them with access to education, safe accommodation, and basically just provided them with a place of safety. I really saw the benefits of a place of safety, basically, for those children. So I think if I were to be Prime Minister on Thursday, I would seriously look at the investment around the support for children in their communities, recognising that over the past 10, 15 years, we have really stripped back the funding for children, and this is all sorts of children that require this. So that would be my thing. Relook at the budget and reallocate reprioritise the way that we treat children's services.
I'd make better facilities for people who are more interested in the arts, like people who are really good at it, so that they can get further support instead of being held back by others. Like people who are really interested in it can have much deeper understanding and teaching.
Like suspending the timetable for a week. I met a head teacher who ran a community college, and he had a 10-week timetable, 10-day timetable, a 2-week timetable. Day 10, the timetable was suspended and everybody worked on a creative project for the day. The whole school worked on different creative projects that day. Every fortnight. That's good, isn't it? Because you get all the other lessons done in the 9 day, in the other. So there you go. That's my other suggestion.
Thank you.
Free and better funding, and we need to. It needs to be more prominent.
Music lessons, free music lessons for all primary and secondary school children. And the other thing was, what did we talk about? We talked about Live music, getting more live music, the whole range of genres, and just getting it to the children actually in Devon, rather than having to go and spend thousands of pounds on transport to get there.
I'd give them more music in schools, and I'd invite mums and grannies and aunties to come and teach crochet and knitting and sewing.
Painting's very good, so I think that should become a lot more present in schools. I also meditated quite a lot in my adult life, so I'd bring meditation into schools. I think that's very, very good for people to experience meditative states of mind. And I suppose like physical activity. So I'm a swimmer, so I'd like to see more people enjoy kind of physical activity. So I suppose that for me, some kind of like sport, physical discipline, some kind of meditative appreciation, and the arts. I'd like to see that happen in schools more. Yeah. Okay.
So if I became Prime Minister, I would reverse all the many years of cuts that have been made to provision for young people and make sure there was proper funding for art and creative activities once again.
Okay, so I would sort of make it weaved into every different subject, so that if you're doing English, you know, if you're doing Macbeth, you're doing a play, you get up and do the play, and all that. Maybe, I don't know, do some music related stuff as well. And the same with history, everything, bringing it to life using the arts. I think that would be the best way to kind of make it part and parcel of everything, because I feel like at school everybody just sits down and they have worksheets and it's a lot of kind of book-based stuff really. So, yeah.
So I think the first thing you need to do is change how cultural education is run in schools. I don't think that children get very much freedom in schools, so I think it would be really nice to kind of let them have a bit more imagination and freedom and things like that. I work in Painton Library, and I think we're really lucky that we get to put on lots of different cultural activities, and I think kind of having things like that in more libraries would be a really great thing to do. So more funding for the education, arts education in libraries and schools, just so that people can have a creative outlet.
I would give everybody in primary age children the opportunity to learn an instrument from a teacher for nothing. Free music tuition.
I would put creative education right at the heart of the curriculum. And when I use the word creative education, I mean the arts and I mean creativity in all subjects. So I would put the creativity at the heart, and I would allow the arts to be creative much more than they are now. And I would also bring in the sciences, maths, humanities, all as creative subjects in their own right. And I would get young people to really think about how they can use all those subjects together to solve some of the big challenges that we face as society, like climate change. And I think that would be really powerful in education.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for your time. Okay.
I would increase funding to enable young people to access more arts and make them free to young people to access. I would give equal opportunity to everyone to access them, regardless of their socio-economic background. And I would also put more money into schools for arts as well, and because I think it's really underfunded, and I think by doing that it would lower the mental health and well-being crisis that's happening in our schools today.
Well, straight away the funding's not there, is it? You'll have to start putting some more money in. I think I'd make it mandatory that everybody had to do some form of creative art. I think whether that be sort of music, dance, drama, just something that they can sort of take their mind off, and sort of like PE is mandatory. I think I'd make arts mandatory as well.
I would make all schools suspend the timetable for a week at the end of term and have an arts organisation come in and just make a production for the week, just to encourage people to talk. I'd have musicians, theatre makers, drama, puppet makers, all that. Just come in for the week, everybody off timetable, just make a lovely production.
Well, first of all, I really don't want to be Prime Minister. I prefer being an artist, and that's all right with me. what would I do? I think that listening to artists would be a good thing. Valuing them would be a good thing. Understanding that the creative industries contribute massively to the economy of this country, and therefore supporting them in education is not just a sort of indulgence, which is what our government seems to think all the time, but is actually an investment for the whole country.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing I'd say.
I think, oh my goodness, I would think I would make it a more integral part of the curriculum rather than just being a subject that seems to sometimes get brushed under the carpet, that, you know, it's okay, because I find in my school sometimes that music's not that important. So I would make it much more relevant and much more of a curricular subject, I think, than it's perceived to be now. And put some more money into it as well.
So one thing I would definitely do is bring back free tuition in schools so that children don't need to pay for their lessons privately. Because in the classroom now there's so many opportunities to learn instruments, but if you want to take it to the next level, the price of that is quite expensive now. So to bring back some funding that would aid families to access that and young people to access that would be the first thing on my agenda.
I just think it needs to be more prominent and have a place equally with all the other subjects, because it's really important for well-being, for our creative outlet. Like, as humans, we need to create. We write music, we write songs, we've written plays, we put on plays, we entertain each other. It's just something that we have done for thousands of years, and I just think sometimes it gets really sidelined for other subjects, and I think they're important as well, but I just would love to see it taken as seriously and as equally as other subjects.
Have you met anyone new today or found out anything new about who's doing what and where locally for young people's education?
I have met the Med Theatre crew, and because we're a theatre group as well, I was trying to find a way of like recycling some of the like costumes and set and things like that all of the youth theatre groups in the area are kind of clearly using and not necessarily passing on. So I have found out from Med Theatre that there's a sustainable WhatsApp group where you can offer stuff that you've got or ask for things that other people have got, so you're not trying to reinvent everything all the time.
Talked to some people from Paynton Library and heard that they were going to be doing a printmaking activity in the next month or so. So he was like looking for ideas. That was good.
Yeah, so I've been speaking with teachers today. I myself work in libraries, where we still have chance to work with children and do creative activities through the year, but in schools that's been so much squeezed out, so that very much needs to be turned around. And one of the creative activities I'm looking to do during the summer, when we have the summer reading challenge, is printmaking. So it's been really wonderful to have a demonstration here today of print techniques. I made a really nice bookmark, and I'm looking forward to working with children during the summer to create their own things.
So what is one thing you're going to do as a result of coming here today?
Well, I'm going to make sure I get more involved with the creative partnership? Yeah. I'm going to make sure, because I've got time now, I've got an administrator, so I've got time, so I shall get involved in that way, yeah.
Don't know, not sure. It's a result of coming. I'll be tidying it up a lot more, won't I? I'll be tidying this lot up. There you go. Is that all right?
It's just nice to be around other people that share the same passion for what we're doing, and yeah, it's really nice to meet some of the kids at this school that have nominated their teacher and things like that. It's just nice to meet like-minded people, I guess.